Hello everyone, it's Tsuki, and today I wanted to do a simple video, not sure how long it's going to be, but it should be fairly simple, of me going over my controller hotbars. It's been a request that I've gotten quite a few times over the past year, several years. My hotbars have changed since Stormblood has released, who would have thunk. So yeah, I'm gonna go over my hotbars and you can use them as reference for yourselves if you would like, if you would play on controller. I know there aren't a whole lot of content creators who play with the controllers, so I guess that's why people like to ask me questions about that. So that's what we're going to do right now. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and turn on hotbar help, which should allow you to see what the abilities are called, just in case you don't know them by their symbols like I have memorized them already. And doing that, yep, so we can do that. Also something to note of, I do not use the double cross hotbar. I don't actually know where you turn that on at. Where do you turn that on at? Here you go. So I don't use the double cross hotbar, and you can activate that if you'd like by double tapping L1, R2. I don't like using them. You can also set them to always be there or show up, I guess. I don't like using the double cross hotbar. For me, just using expanded controls is just fine. And basically what this does is when you hold down both triggers, it pops up whichever hotbar you've set it to highlight, I guess. And I also have my expanded hotbar set up. Let's get something playing that isn't so epic, because this is kind of distracting. Hold on. There you go. Something more mellow. Thank you. Thank you, orchestrion roll. But anyways, I have this set up so that no matter what, as you look at hotbar 4, I have it so that no matter what, left side and right side are exactly the same, so that no matter which one I happen to press first, it always gives me the same 8 buttons. I just like to do that. You can do it so that it's different for both sides if you'd like. I just like it being consistent like this because I don't actually need all 16 buttons on this third hotbar that I use, and also because in the heat of the moment, in case I happen to press one first over the other, I don't accidentally end up pressing an ability I didn't want to press, because again, heat of the moment, things can happen. So just explaining that. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's get into it. I'll try and make sure to put down timestamps as well in case you just want to look at a specific job. And let's go. So we're going to start off with White Mage first. And you'll notice, I'll hold these down for a few seconds. You'll notice that I like to keep things rather consistent across all of my jobs. So I like to try and keep things in the same spot. You'll notice that I have Cure, Physic, and Benefic 1 all in the same spot. I'm also going to use my mouse here to go over each of these for a couple seconds. And this hotbar, you can use obviously on PC, but also you can have it display on PS4 as well. I do not actually click any keys to use these. This is just here as a reference for cooldowns, because as you can see, the majority of these abilities, actually all of these abilities, are not on my first hotbar. So moving over to my second hotbar, if I don't need anything, you'll see that, notice that this side is almost completely the same. You'll notice that trend across all my jobs as well. If I don't need to put anything new on the second hotbar, I like to keep it consistent so that I have my core abilities whilst switching hotbars with my right bumper. I have it set so that I only switch between hotbars 1 and 2 with a bumper press. I'm not actually pressing triangle or circle right now, so that's what I do. So this is all the same as the first hotbar, so I don't need to really show that. And here's the left side. Hotbar 3, this is where I keep mounts and stuff. There's nothing particularly important. You can customize this however you like. I just have signs, food, mounts, stuff like that. And then here's hotbar 4, which is what I use expanded controls with. And again, it's the same on either the left or right side. And let's move on along, I guess. Astrologian. I just, I actually don't need to talk that much in this video because it's really just visual aid, I suppose. I think last time I did this for Heaven's Word, I actually messed up and had my mic muted, and I just posted it anyway, but because it didn't really matter, because, I mean, you just need to see my hotbars. Alright, let's check out. I think this is exactly the same. No, I have Asuna over here. I also keep my Sex down here on Hotbar 3. Whenever I have different stances, I like to keep them on Hotbar 3 where my mount buttons are, so I just have less mounts to choose from. And I also keep my Undraw and Empty Road and all that stuff down here as well. And then here's my expanded hotbar. Again, same on both sides. Same 8 buttons, rather. Let's move right along to Scholar. Scholar is actually the one job that I've been constantly changing, but I've kept with this set for the last few weeks, and or this hotbar setup for the last few weeks, and I rather enjoy it. So I think I'm probably gonna stick with this, although I might switch something around every now and then. Who knows? I have Dissipation down here as well. I don't know, I just didn't feel like I needed to have it on any of my main hotbars. I also have Summon and Summon 2 down here. Although Dissipation has actually gotten a lot better in Stormblood with the way Aether Flow has changed, because it basically gives you another 15 seconds off your next Aether Flow if you use Dissipation. Alright, let's go down to Bard. Oh, actually, before that, I need to show you these. See, I almost already forgot. The thing about Scholar and Summoner is that there's a lot of extra buttons that you need to press because of pet actions, which is a little annoying for controller users, but I played Scholar and Summoner fairly decently on the controller. It's possible. You can get used to it if you put your mind to it. Also, I just realized there's some abilities that are going to be upgraded, obviously, you know, Stormbite rather, instead of Windbite and such. Just bear that in mind. Pretty sure this is the same as that side, so. And having Repelling Shot there is really just there as a formality. I'm never really ever need to use it. I miss the days when Repelling Shot did damage. Actually, I kind of don't miss the days when Repelling Shot did damage, because then I actually had to get in range to use it, and then make sure I didn't get killed using it, so maybe I don't miss the days when Repelling Shot did damage. Machinist. Again, I forgot to do these. I'm sorry. Maybe I should just start off with doing these first, so I don't forget. Just in case you don't know what the little icons are by memory. Now we can do the Machinist. In fact, I am going to open with these first now. Also, my hotbars on the side of my cross hotbar, to the right of it rather, those are the same across all my jobs, since they're just kind of their general purpose really. Alright. Switching hotbars, looks like right side is the same again. Sometimes they're exactly the same, sometimes they're slightly different. Just kind of depends on the job. I have blank down here. Again, kind of just as a formality. Rarely ever need to use it. Same with Fluid Aura, I guess. Back when blank and Fluid Aura used to do damage. And then here's the expanded hotbar. Let's switch to ninja. Alright. Hotbar 1. Hotbar, well, still Hotbar 1, left side. I was about to say Hotbar 2, but that is a lie. It's amazing how I can still find stuff to ramble on about in something as simple as this. Same thing on the right side as Hotbar 2. Expanded controls. I'm gonna start doing Hotbar 3 last, since it doesn't matter as much for the most part. And yeah, these are just signs, mounts. Monk. I actually spent like a good hour messing around with my hotbars, getting them rather consistent across all the different jobs in the role actions where I put things, as well as making things consistent between my characters, because I do actually have several. Meditation turns into Forbidden Chakra once you have 5 stacks, so that's there. And then the expanded controls. And then Hotbar 3. I have one M punch down here. I don't think I've ever needed to use it, as well as my different fist stances. Moving on to Samurai. I bet a lot of people, myself included, would probably need to recall all of these. I actually have the opposite problem. I know what the symbols look like, I just do not know what the names are. Very very Japanese names for all these abilities. Okay, part 2. And then expanded hotbar. And then I don't actually have hotbar 3 set up, but it would just be mounts and stuff, the usual. Alright, Dragoon now. Are we halfway done yet? About halfway done? We've gone through all the melee, physical, and healer, so yeah, about, what, 9 jobs now? I'm sorry, I can't really count. So you notice that I like to keep my combos in rather the same spots, if possible. That's the same as the first hotbar. And then go ahead and do expanded controls. And then the hotbar 3, nothing special down here. Go on to Paladin. Shield bash down here instead of spirits within, right? Yeah. And then all of these really strong defensive cooldowns that Paladin is known for. And then expanded controls. And then down here I have Sword Oath and Shield Oath. And I also have the countdown button, countdown menu. Kind of useful to have as a tank. Warrior. Now I actually haven't finished the warrior quests line, so as you can see down there, we're not looking at it right now, but Berserk should be in a release once I do finish my level 70 quests for warrior. It's just Berserk right now because I haven't finished it yet. Hotbar 2, same as the Hotbar 1, right side. And then expanded controls. And then down here, Defiance and Deliverance. And then the usual. Moving on to Dark Knight. As you can kind of see with like some things, like you'll notice these aren't actual cooldowns. I just have these like, usually I'll put high priority abilities in the middle, kind of like this. I just do that sometimes. Looks nice. Right side, same as Hotbar 1. Expanded controls. And then have Grit and Blood Weapon down here. I actually have Dark Side on my expanded controls, which is why I don't have them down here. And I have Blood Weapon down here because you can't have Blood Weapon up while Grit is on, so when I turn it off, or go to turn it off, Blood Weapon is just right there for me to press as well in the same stroke, so that's why it's there. Going on to Black Mage now. And yes, I don't have a belt for my casters. I accidentally sold the belt I was using for my casters to Expert Delivery for seals on accident, and I just never bothered replacing it because I don't really play my casters that much on this character. I play them on my other character, so yeah, need to replace that. Moving on, right side same as Hotbar 1. Expanded controls. And then Hotbar 3, I have Freeze and Blizzard 2 down here because they are not very useful, but might as well have them on my bar somewhere, I guess, as a formality. Moving on to Red Mage. And then Hotbar 2. To be fair, I could put Swift Cast and Mana Shift on my cooldown hotbar. I just haven't done it yet because I rarely need to use them, but they are there for Red Mage. Expanded controls. And then Hotbar Hotbar 3. I have Tether down here because I never needed to use it, but again, as formality, keeping it there. And then lastly, finally, Summoner. Oh boy. The one job people have a really hard time fitting everything onto their controller. But I make it work. Notice a lot of parallels with how I set up Scholar as well. Hotbar 2. I have Physic down here instead of Try Disaster, even though it really kind of sucks, but it's there. Expanded controls. And then Hotbar 3, have my summons down here, as well as withdraw or away, and a bunch of other pet commands that will be helpful if you are playing Summoner. In fact, I did have some of these there as Scholar as well, forgot to mention. And also, when it comes to switching between Ifrit and Garuda, I mainly use Ifrit, but in the rare occasions that I do use Garuda, I just switch Flaming Crush with Aerial Slash, and then I have Contagion on my expanded hotbar, as you can see here, so keeps things rather consistent. And there we go, that's all of the job hotbars. Not gonna bother with any of these, but yeah. Hopefully that was helpful if you guys were looking forward to that. I guess I can go ahead and hover over these real quick. Eternity Ring, this has a cooldown of I believe 15 minutes, so that's why I have that down here. This also has a cooldown of 15 minutes, return. Actually, this has a cooldown of 30 minutes, and this is 15. Sprint now has a cooldown of 60 seconds, so it's kind of important to know that. This is clear log, so if I just press this, it gets rid of my log. Really helpful for transitioning between videos when my log is filled with nonsense. And then minion and mount roulette, just there for fun. Recommendations, I've been using the recommendations button lately for keeping track of hunt builds that I'm looking for. Protect Cleric, that's actually just a simple macro that I use. As you can see, I have Cleric Stance active right now, but if I press this button, it deselects Cleric Stance, activates Protect, and after Protect is activated, reactivates Cleric Stance. Obviously, you can't use this in battle, so if you do use this before battle and your tank pulls before it finishes, it can really mess things up. If you're curious on how to make that, that's what it looks like. Right here, this is what it looks like. And then I just have a random potion down here, because potion cooldown and all of that. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys found that useful if you were looking forward to it. And yeah, that's all I got. See you guys in the next video. Sayonara. Bye bye.